Oh, L2. My bad. So it looks like it's working. Good, good, good. So anyway, let's get straight to it before this shit crashes and burns, all right? Um, so there was maybe about like 3 days ago, there was a beta that kind of rolled out, an enrollment of a beta that rolled out for the PlayStation 4, the new firmware. And there was a lot of talks about what was going on. So I'm curious to see what it is that they're going to incorporate. Because I feel like this late in the game, like what can you incorporate at this point? You know what I mean? You only have so much memory to work with, and I just don't know what else they can incorporate, which is like really interesting. So that being said, there's been some stuff in the rumor mill as to what was, going to be added in there. Supposedly some groundwork was being laid in, and future and past, updates that kind of paves the way for the future. But a lot of people were talking about like, name changes and stuff like that. Now that's not a firmware, but a firmware feature. It's more like a network feature. But I'm pretty sure it has something to do with the firmware and how it talks to the servers and stuff like that. So it could be. Um, a lot of people are also asking for the what the fuck do you call that shit again? Let me see. I'm trying to read my notes here. Um, Actually, let me go ahead and address this too. A lot of people may be wondering as to why um, name changes can't be incorporated. The old actual infrastructure of PS3, it was very archaic to say the least, and that's what pretty much caused, when they upgraded their servers, it caused a lot of particular issues with the, talking from the old servers to the new ones. So they had to kind of cater to the PS3 servers and make sure that the whole infrastructure is together. And that's pretty much why we don't get, name changes. It's how they set up, how profiles worked in the old servers back in the PS2 days. So that's pretty much what's going on here. Um, Now that the PS3 has completely died off, that's probably what they're going to end up fixing and stuff like that. Um, look, I'm getting my ass whooped by the fucking Blessed Art Beast and Bloodborne. But anyway, um, so that's why. So now we can probably get it from this point on. I believe one of the higher ups definitely stated that he wanted to add that in there and make sure that that works before this year's end. Now, along with name changing, PSN name changing, people were talking about, PS1 and 2 backwards compatibility. I personally think that Sony wanted to create like a unified, message to their consumers. I'm pretty sure that if they unlock the PS1 and 2 backwards compatibility, people will be probably asking for like, what the fuck? Why can you backwards compatible or get backwards compat the PS1 and 2, but not 3? The architectures are super different. There's some things that the PS3 still does better than these new consoles, which is the reason why we couldn't really get it to work. So that's definitely a particular issue. But it'd be nice at the end of this generation to see if they were able to at least put that in there. That's one of my biggest features. I like, along with when I'm streaming, I don't want to have my screen. I want to be able to read the chat, but I want my screen to be minimized. I want my chat to be overlaid on the screen. I don't know why they weren't able to do that. I don't want my shit minimized. It looks ugly, and it takes away too much screen real estate. But I hope they change the UI. I'm pretty sure the UI is going to get changed. So that's definitely something that they're going to definitely do. We also hear people screaming across the way about cross-play infrastructure changes. Listen, niggas, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. They're going to unlock the Fortnite servers, and it's going to reset everything, and that's pretty much it. They're not going to give money to Microsoft. That's the competitors, and no one should be thinking that they should either. I understand that people were talking about consumer-friendly and consumer rights and shit like that. They're not going to do that. Get out of here. there was also people asking for 60 frames per second for the DVR capabilities of these systems as well. So I'm kind of curious as to how they're going to incorporate that shit. Damn, he almost wrecked my ass. So hopefully, you know, they'll be able to add, you know, these particular options for streamers if they want to do 60 frames per second and upload that to YouTube. That'd be pretty cool. You know, with sacrificing how long the video is actually on and stuff like that. That'd be pretty. Damn, he is thrashing me. Get the fuck away. But yeah, so that'd be pretty cool. Hopefully they do something like that too. And lastly, people were talking about like digital refunds and stuff like that. That's a coin toss, because honestly, with the whole digital refunds, that opens up a can of worms. I would love to have it, but how long do you give a customer? Because a lot of these games you can probably beat in one setting, and then they'll be losing money and shit like that. So maybe give them 3 days, and then they'd be able to do it, or 24 hours, like some ridiculous number. That way, you're not wasting everybody's fucking time. Hopefully they do something like that too. So that kind of wraps up the actual PS4 6.0 beta for their firmware.